Hello, guys. Welcome to the podcast series. Firstly, before beginning, I want to say you don't hold your phone, fix it somewhere else, listening the podcast while closing your eyes, understand all the things what I'm going to tell you. Just imagine the word, understand the word, and it's gonna be helpful for improve your learning skill. So, this is our podcast number one, and in this podcast, we are going to talk about the 10 scientific way to learn anything faster. While it is nice to think you can hack your way to success whenever you try to accomplish a huge goal like starting and growing a business skill matter. Who you know is certain important, but what you know and what you can do matters a whole lot. So, which means the faster you learn, the more successful you can be. So, let's jump right in. Here are 10 ways backed up by science to speed up the learning process of yours. Now, the first is say out loud what you want to remember. What is mean? Researcher shows that accomplished to reading or thinking silently, the act of speech is a quite powerful mechanism for improving memory for selected information. According to the scientist, learning and memory benefit from active involvement when we add an active measure or a product element to a word. That word becomes more distinct in long-term memory and hence more memorable. What about second? Take notes by hand, not on a computer. Most of us can type faster than we can write, but research shows handwriting your notes means you learn more. Oddly enough, taking note by hand enhances both comparison and retention, possibly because instead of just serving as a quantitative, you are forced to put things in your own word in order to keep up. Maybe that's why Richard Branson has maintained a lifelong rabid habit of keeping a handwriting journal. Third is chunk your study session. You are busy, so you wait until the last minute to learn what you need to know. A presentation, a sales demo, an inventor pitch. Bad idea. Research shows distributed practice is a much more effective way to learn. Imagine you can do nail your investor pitch. Once you are drafted your pitch, run through it once. Then take a few minutes to make correction and revision. Then step away for a few hours or even for a day before you repeat the process. Why does distributed practice work? The study phase retrieval theory says that each time you attempt to retrieve something from memory and the retrieval is more successful, that memory becomes harder to forget. Another theory is contextual variability. When information gets encoded into memory, some of the content is also encoded. That context creates useful cues for retrieving information. The fourth step is test yourself a lot. A number of studies shows that self-testing is an extremely effective way to speed up the learning process. Partly that's due to an additional context created. If you test yourself and answer incorrectly, not only are you more likely to remember the right answer after you look it up, you are also remember that you didn't remember. So, don't just rehearse your presentation, test yourself on what comes after your intro. Test yourself by listening the 5 main points you want to make. Try to require key statistics or sales estimates or cash flow project. Fifth is change the way you practice. Repeating anything over and over again in the hope you will master that task will not only keep you from improving as quickly as you could, in some cases it may actually decrease your skill. According to recent research from John, if you practice a slightly modified version of a task you want to master, you actually learn more and faster than if you just keep practicing the exact same thing multiple times in a row. The most likely cause is a process where existing memories are recalled and modified with the new knowledge. Number 6. Exercise regularly. This study shows that regular exercise can improve memory recall. Another study from university found that periods of a high intensity exercise are good for fitness and memory. Exercise results in significant improvement in a high interface memory. A commonly used example for high interferences memory is remembering faces. A skill thing is especially useful for people hoping to make connection. Exercise also resulting in an increase in a chemical called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein that supports the function, growth, and survival of the brain cell. Now, number 7 is get more sleep. Sleep is when most of the memory consolidation process occur. That's why even a short nap can improve your memory recall. In one study, participants memorized illustrated cards to test their memory strength. After memorizing a set of cards, they look at a 40 minutes break and one group nap while the other group stay awake. After the break, both groups were tested on their memory of the card. The sleep current performed significantly better, retaining on average 85% of the pattern compared to the 60% of those who have remained awake. Number 8. Learn several subjects in succession. Instead of blocking, focus on one subject, one task, or one skill during a learning session. Learn or practice several subjects or skills in succession. The process is called interleaving, studying related concepts or skills in parallel, and it turned out interleaving is a much more effective way to train your brain. Number 9. Teach someone else. It may be occasionally true that those who can teach, but research shows it's definitely true that those who teach speed up their learning and retain more. Even just thinking that you don't need to teach someone, you can make you learn more effectively. According to the researchers, when teachers prepare to teach, they try to seek out key points and organize information into a coherent structure. Our results suggest that students also turn to these type of effective learning strategies when they expect to teach. Number 10. Build on things you do now. Relating something new to something you are familiar with is called associative learning. Note the Pavlov's talk from associated learning, but the think where you learn the relationship between seamlessly unrelated things. Need to learn something new? Try to associate it, at least in part, with something you already know. Then you only have to learn the different and you will be able to apply greater context, which help you to improve storage to the new information you learn. All of which mean you will need to learn a lot less, which science says will result in you being able to learn a lot more quickly. So these are the 10 skills. If you follow this, so you can learn a thing very fast. So this is the end of the podcast 1. Hopefully you like this. So please press the like button and also subscribe my YouTube channel, Mohd Amaan. Thank you for listening to the podcast we made in another podcast. Thank you for listening this.